All right, so here we are with problem 13 and 14. Notice we see right away that we have this altitude here. They want us to find that missing length, and that missing length is x for number 13. So as soon as we see that altitude, we're thinking about our geometric mean formula, which we've seen as m over a equals b over m. Now, the tricky part about this is just figuring out what to plug in where. Well, we know that means are either legs or altitudes, right? And here we have an altitude, so I know that that is a mean. So that goes in the place of m. So we have x over something equals something over x. Well, when we have an altitude, it splits this whole side, or this hypotenuse, into two pieces. Right? Our two pieces in this instance are 36 and 64. And when we use the altitude, because it splits it into two pieces, we plug in the rest of our formula with those two pieces. So 36 and 64 just go into our formula. So when we cross multiply, get x squared equals 36 times 64, 2304. Well, I want the square root of whatever that is, so 48. Square root, x is 48. So looking at 14, we see that altitude again. And again, we're thinking about our geometric mean formula. But this time, our mean is not an altitude, it's a leg. Our mean is not an altitude, it's a leg. So it's x over something equals something over x. And when our mean is a leg, we use that piece that's connected to it, or also the piece that's closest to it. So here's our piece 36. And then we also use the entire side, or the full hypotenuse. That's this length right here, which would be 100. So x squared is 3600, and x is 60. Alright, so when we flip it over, and we look at 15 and 16, again, we see that altitude, so we're thinking geometric mean. Alright, well, mean can either be a leg or an altitude. I'll just shorten it to alt. Well, here is a leg that we have the value for. The value is x. We're going to use that as our mean. Plug that in for m. And when we have a leg, we use the piece closest to it, so 9. And we need this whole length, the entire full length of the hypotenuse, which is 25, because 16 plus 9 is 25. Well, 9 times 25 is 225. So x squared equals 225. And I know that's a perfect square. It's the perfect square of 15. And last but not least, here's number 16. It's in that same category of problem. We have that altitude. So we're thinking geometric mean, m over a equals b over m. Well, our m can either be a leg or an altitude. And here we have the altitude. It's x. So wherever that m is, we're just going to plug in that altitude x. Now, when the altitude is our mean, remember it splits this side into two pieces. So we need this piece and this piece. Well, they already gave us the smaller piece, it's 9. And to find this other piece, we take 25 minus 9, and we get 16. So that's the other piece we're going to use. So x squared equals 9 times 16, which is 144. So x is 12.